Hi everyone, today I'm trying a new video format. I will be giving commentary on a game of League as I play and talking about some tips and tricks I have about playing the champion or role. In this video I'll be playing Wukong jungle with these runes here. I've taken Electrocute for some added burst to help Wukong with his early ganks. He benefits from the burst damage pre-level 6 due to his lack of CC without his ult. This combined with sudden impact helps him get more successful ganks before he gets his ult. I took Eyeball Collection and Ultimate Hunter to allow us to scale after we do get our ult. And because Wukong has somewhat of a squishy kit and his item builds are more damage focused, I've opted to take Bone Plating and Overgrowth to give us a bit more survivability. Lastly, the modifiers are attack speed, damage, and armor. This is a common modifier setup for a lot of junglers, as the added attack speed and armor will help you clear your camps more efficiently. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started with the Wukong gameplay breakdown. A lot of escape, actually. A lot of them can like dash out, so I'm probably gonna take Chilling Smite here. When I normally jungle, what I normally do is I choose my jungling knife based on, right, there's the Challenging Smite, which will not give you any CC, but it does give you damage reduction. So if I know that I'm going to be fighting them a lot more often, I look at the team, and if I'm going to have to be in the fight a lot longer, I'll take that Challenging Smite. But in this case, because a lot of them have some type of escape or dash, I'm going to take that Chilling Smite just so I can chase them down. Ooh. Did he get that first pull? No, okay, no waves in there. Now in the case if we're going to fight early, as Wukong jungle, I normally take Q just because it gives you the armor reduction. It'll help everybody else deal more damage to get you that first blood. But since we're not invading here, I don't think we are. I don't know what this Thresh is doing. Since we're not invading, I'm probably going to take E first. I'm going to wait a few more seconds here. I'm going to take E first just because it gives me the attack speed whenever I cast it, and that helps you clear camps a little bit faster. I take Q second for that armor reduction. That helps me clear camps. It does work on jungle camps. And then secondly, because you have the attack speed from your E, it helps you lower your cooldown of your Q a lot faster. Because your Q is lowered by its cooldown is lowered every time you land an auto attack. Now the reason why I didn't take potions early is because I know Wukong has enough sustain. He naturally gets his increased armor from his passive. For those of you that don't know, whenever he is in combat, he gains armor and health regen. And I believe if he auto attacks and or takes damage, let me see here. Whenever him or a clone hit champion or jungle monsters with an attack or ability, it'll stack. So because of that, and I used my my W here to lose aggro of the Raptors for a second. That gives me more time here. Because of that, it gives him enough armor to actually sustain without needing potions. Now, oopsie. Sorry. Wow, a lot of things going on right now. Sorry, I'm getting off track here. Now, because of that, you can afford to save 150 gold without needing any type of potion. And you can use Smite, the natural health regen from your passive, and the lifesteal that the jungling knife gets you. Gives you, not lifesteal, I'm sorry, Omnivamp. You can use the Omnivamp that the jungling knife gives you to just sustain out. And that helps you put you even slightly, even if it's just slightly, it just puts you slightly ahead in terms of gold. I just canceled my auto attack there, dang it. Now with the jungle rework for the Krugs, you notice how they're gold instead of blue like they used to be. They now have the highest gold on the smallest level. So these really tiny ones will carry the most amount of gold, which I guess it was meant for the fact that you would commit more to the Krug's camp. Most people wouldn't commit to Krug's camp because of the fact that they multiply and they deal a lot more damage as you get them lower and lower. So because of that, it forces you to either commit for the camp to get more gold, or you just overall wouldn't take the camp because of the fact that it would probably beat you up early. Most junglers actually don't have don't easily take Krugs early. Now this Aurelia pinged for help, and I think it's because she wants to stay for that kill. There is a large wave crashing right there. Boom. Easy. There we go. And now she has free push. Actually, you know what? Let's be nice here. We've got an extra ward here. Let's ward for her. Now notice I only did one full clear of both sides of my jungle, my blue and my red, and I'm already at 1500 gold. That's actually really good because normally I would take boots first, but in the case of Wukong, I'm actually going to get Black Cleaver as fast as I can. Because Black Cleaver is really good on Wukong because of the fact that his clone also auto-attacks. So it procs the Black Cleaver's Armor Shred passive a lot faster. Now what I normally recommend for jungling, and this is for any jungler, I would say for any jungler that I'm going to be doing these breakdowns for, is that you always should save your dash, your mobility spell, for, I'm pretty sure she's aware. Uh-oh. Is she doing things? No. Okay. That was interesting to say the least. Let's see what we do here. Let me clear that mid turret. Okay. At least her wave froze somewhat closer to their turret. I think they're taking the scuttle. Yep. Who's their jungler? Evelyn. Okay. And I outsmite her anyway. Alright, anyway, back to what I was saying. So for any jungler who has a mobility spell, a dash, a blink, a gap closer of some sort, what I would always recommend is to hold on to it. Don't use it immediately. In the case of that Aurelia gank earlier, I used it because I needed to save her. Camille engaged on her and she was really low and I didn't want her to die. But in the case of making a coordinated gank with a lane that actually is aware that you're, you know, showing up and, you know, you got good positioning and whatnot, hold on to that dash simply because of the fact that the dash actually can be used to gap close if they flash. A lot of people will actually forget that and they'll just jump right on and be like, I'm gonna get you. And then they can just flash away. And in most cases, you can use it to actually force a flash, but simply just walking up to them and the danger of, oh my god, there's another person here, you know, that's gonna kill me, is usually enough to actually kind of warrant them to flash away or at least pop some type of summoner spell, like heal or something. Now, I'm going to try and finish this ground here so I can get 6. By the time Thresh and Jhin get back to lane, I'm going to have 6 to grab the Lucian and the Senna here. Now, I do not have Sweeper yet. I should have got that on my first back, but I did not. So right here, they're in. I'm going. There, and see, Senna already flashed, and she left the Lucian. Lucian's dead. So the Lucian didn't want to flash, or he didn't have his flash for whatever reason, and because of that, he died. But notice how the Senna just flashed immediately without me even having to dash to her. I just kind of walked towards her, and she was like, oh shit! And in most cases, I would recommend doing that simply because if you do waste the dash, or the blink, or whatever your engage move, your engage spell, and the junglers nearby, the mid laner roamed for some odd reason, you are now screwed because you have no out except for your own flash. If it's on cooldown, you may have just cost yourself your life. You could just die. And as the jungler, I usually don't recommend that just because if the jungler dies and the lane is pushed, most junglers will make the call for that lane that they just counter ganked to help them with a buff, either Rift Herald or, oh wow, she got that, either Rift Herald or Dragon. So another thing that I'd like to point out, and this is for a lot of people that are trying to play jungle and trying to make good calls here, is defending turrets. Now, by all means, you can defend a turret to, especially if the wave is crashing like this, push it out. But notice how there's a new wave crashing in, but the next wave is coming up and my laners are coming in. I'm not going to push it out simply because I want them to get XP. And if they just die, they might be down XP, down levels, down gold. If I have pushed that wave out, then they now have to contest, try to farm, and CS in the middle of the lane with a disadvantage. Secondly, if it's just off of a gank, right? If the enemy jungler has just completed a gank and successfully killed the laners, and you're there to cover the turret, I don't usually recommend doing it. Simply because you are now outnumbered, especially if it was that bot lane, because there's now 3 people, maybe even 4 if the top laner TP'd or something like that. And you are now 1v3, 1v4. You know, there's a very high chance that they can dive you, and there's a very high chance that they will survive. And you've just given them even more gold because you're not helping your team recover in a sense. And in this case, I think there's a lot of action going down bot lane. Evelyn is bot lane, perfect. Evelyn just showed face bot lane, so I'm going to take Rift Herald here. And since mid lane and top lane are shoved out, as you can notice right there, both of the lanes right there and right there are shoved out, I have free reign to then take this Rift Herald without any worry of being interrupted. I think Gabby just texted me. What's Gabby want? I'm busy, Gabs. It looks like even Camille has rotated down, so that makes it easier for me to take this Rift Herald. Uh-oh, she killed it earlier though, that's not good. And since all of the action is happening down bot, I'm gonna probably have to rotate for that dragon. There we go, now I got that black cleaver, and then we're gonna work on our Merc Treads. Uh-oh, that's a free drag for them. No, I can't, I'm not gonna contest that. I can't contest that. So, first things first, a lot of junglers, especially squishy ones like Wukong right here. Wukong is very squishy. I don't have enough tank items to probably contest that dragon. So I'm just gonna concede it here, and I'm just gonna let them have it. It's an Inferno Drag, yes, but it's not like I'm surrendering a Dragon Soul or an Elder Dragon, a very important buff. So I'd rather not risk my life, give them any extra gold, and let them have the dragon buff. Because there's no way I can steal it. I don't have any, you know, very efficient form of stealth. My clones, yes, they do. If I cast my clone, it will make me invisible, but it won't make me invisible for very long. I believe it's only like 1 second. Yes, I only become invisible for 1 second. And that's not enough for me to close a gap all the way into dragon and possibly smite it. Because if I go invisible and say the dragon's not low enough, then what am I gonna do? Because now there we go, I've forced a flash. Oh hey, she left the Lucian again. She keeps leaving this Lucian, and that's kind of funny because this Lucian is just gonna keep losing his life. Now, since I just successfully got a gank, and I know that this Senna has no mana, she cannot defend, she cannot wave clear, especially because even if Senna did have mana, normally Senna, just with her kit, cannot wave clear fast enough. So that means I can drop Rift Herald and I can take the turret. So we got first turret there, and then obviously since we're pushed up, I don't have to worry about being contested here for this buff, so I can steal this Evelyn's buff, and I hang out nearby in case trouble arises. But it doesn't look like it since Camille's busy mid lane, and I don't believe, or does have a TP, huh? Oh, there's Evelyn, she's just hanging out nearby. Looks like Lucian ran right back. There we go. Evelyn did hang around. Ooh, interesting. Okay, Camille's probably gonna rotate now. Camille is missing, so we're gonna leave here. That's another thing. specifically with junglers, is knowing where everybody is. Because what it is as a jungler, you're that hidden presence. You hang out in the fog of war and no one knows where you are. I think I'm going to take Divine Sunder here because we have a lot of burst damage here. We're doing good, and with the Aurelia and the Katarina, we have a lot of burst damage, so Divine Sunder just helps me add on to that. So either way, back to the jungling thing, and I'm going to talk about this for a lot of junglers, especially assassin junglers with big gap closers like Wukong, big ultimates that can make or break team fights, is you are sort of like the hidden agent, the backup guy. You're in the fog of war, and you can pop out of nowhere at any time. But if you're consistently hanging around somewhere, they can counterplay you. Because if you noticed, I was hanging out bot for a while. We got the kill on Lucian, and then I got whatchamacallit. I got the turret, and then I also got a second kill on Lucian. I was bot lane for so long. Evelyn, although she was there to try and stop us in case we wanted to push for that second turret, she could have easily counterplayed me, and if Rift Herald was up, she could have taken the Rift Herald because I was bot side. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Good warding here. We've got Evelyn on the radar here. It's 3. Oof. No, she's dead. I can't save her. Yeah. Shit. I think I just concede here. I'm gonna hang out right here. There's like a little gap here in the fog of war. Evelyn's right there. I do believe Camille's in this bush, so let me play this out here. Yeah, see there, I use sweeper too. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yes, the jungling thing. So for the jungling thing, when you're hanging out, hang out in the fog of war. Always carry your sweeper and try to sweep common areas that are going to be warded, especially if like drag's about to be up. If you're in the river, just throw the sweeper up in case you walk by a ward. Staying off the radar as a jungler actually makes it a lot easier for you to do your job because they don't know where you are and they don't know where to expect you. That's also why I specifically, when I'm in lane and I push up, rather than pushing up and putting pressure on the turret, I'd rather walk into the jungle, place a ward in their jungle, in the enemy jungle. Because I'd rather know where the jungler is to counterplay any type of... Hello there. You don't see me, do you? Let me see if I can bait this there. Oh. Damn it! I couldn't get to the other side of that blast cone in time. Well, we got the Lucian again. Since jungle is up, there's no wards here. That's interesting. Camille is a big problem here, so we're gonna focus her down. Okay, Turf's gonna kill her. Ooh, that was a good wall. Good hook. She just went right into turret. 2 people are going into turret. What are you? What are they doing? All right, I'm gonna go get drag. Technically, I can solo it, even though I don't really have any. Okay, it looks like they surrendered. But what I was talking about either way is the fact that junglers, I like to stay off the radar. I like to stay hidden because of the fact that they can't counterplay you. They're less likely to expect you. People will commonly ward the their river bushes, and that's probably the most that they'll ever see you coming is from the river bush. And I don't like for them to know that I'm in bot side, so we can put pressure top side. If I'm top side, hey, go take dragon. And that's what I would recommend for any jungler is try to keep off the radar as much as you can and allow for a little bit of that paranoia to set in for the enemy team. But either way, that was a really quick Wukong game. But that's actually a really good way to see what Wukong himself can do with the rework that they did to his kit, specifically his passive. His passive allows him to get a really good head start as a jungler. So yeah, that's gonna be the little breakdown for Wukong jungle. Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. Gabby and I just wanted to let everyone know that Del Thor Gaming has a Patreon.
Any funds made will help support the channel and help us make a living creating more videos for you.
Also, remember to follow Delthor Gaming on Instagram.
All the links are found in the description below.
Thank you.
And subscribe for more.
Woo!